It is Dave Lawrence. A big aloha, and thank you so much for tuning in for this. It's a very special interview. I've got a legendary guy here, a original soul-surviving member from the Four Tops, Duke Fakir. Aloha, Brother Duke.
Aloha. It's my pleasure being here. In fact, I can't wait to get on stage to do our thing.
It was awesome getting to talk the other day, and I appreciate you taking some more time for me. It really does mean a lot. I was just curious, in the very beginning, what was it that brought you and Levi Stubbs together? That was really the very beginning of the Four Tops, huh?
Yes, it was. Well, Levi and I came together for it was a very strange reason, but we first came together by playing football in the neighborhood, but I didn't know he was a singer then. And then I went to a variety show, and this big band, which was Lucky Milner's band, said, well, we have a little guest singer on the show, and his name is Levi Stubbs. And I said, boy, his face looked familiar. So he got up there and he sang a song with the band, and it was beautiful. I said, that's the guy I played football with. I didn't know he could sing. So anyway, after the show, I talked to him. He said, yeah, man, that's all I really want to do is sing. That was way before we even started. Now that's how I really got to know that he was a singer. By the time we got to high school, and he had been to a couple other schools, but we were still very good friends. I was an athlete, and he would ride with me on the bus. When we were going to the basketball games, we'd have the team singing. When I played football, he'd ride on the bus with me, and we'd have the football guys singing. When I ran track, we would be out there, and we would just sing, and the track guys and the cheerleaders would start singing with us. And that's how him and I knew we enjoyed singing. And we got together with a couple other guys before Obie and Lawrence, and that wasn't quite the fit. So we knew Obie real well, knew what his voice was. We knew Lawrence real well. So him and I both said, look, we was talking about who we can get. I said, he mentioned Lawrence and I mentioned Obie. I said, I think that might be a good group. He said, well, I tell you what, these girls are having a party tonight. Let's see if they'll come with us to the party. Maybe we can sing at the party, and we'll check it out then. And that's how we first got together. We sang at the party, just out of invitation. I mean, it's not like a gig, but back in those days, those parties, there was always a group there to sing, and the girls would, oh, yeah. And Levi started singing, and we said, we'll back you up. And we just started singing together as if we rehearsed this song, and it sounded really mellow and great. So we realized this was a very good sound, and that we should rehearse and learn some songs, and that's what we did. And that was the beginning.
And who was it who took it from the Four Aims to the Four Tops?
Well, we were the Four Aims. That was the name we started out with professionally, because we were aiming, we were shooting for the stars, or we were aiming for something. So our first real recording session was with Chess Records in Chicago. Leonard and Phil Chess reminded us that the Four Ames brothers were a very popular group at that time. And so they say about the suggestion is that you really change your name. So our musical director, Morris King, asked the question, well, how did you come about the name The Four Ames? Well, we started talking, because we wanted to climb this mountain. We were aiming for the stars, shooting for the top. We wanted to get here and there. So we all kind of looked around. We couldn't think of that. And he said, well, what about the Four Tops? We all looked at each other and said, it sounds pretty good to us. And that's when the Four Tops were born.
And it keeps any confusion from happening. And I know that you have to be on stage really soon, so I'll give you one final question for you to... No, I know you'll... A career like yours, it's hard to discuss with someone because it spans through decades and eras, as we were talking about in our interview. And when you think of the stages you've been on, the people that you've met, is there a defining moment, a certain point that gives you a sense of satisfaction or accomplishment like no other?
Absolutely. I mean, there were probably quite a few, but for me especially, the defining moment when I felt like we had really reached what we call a really good place in our career was when we played Carnegie Hall. Our first engagement at Carnegie Hall was the first time we had like the full orchestra with the strings and the cellos and the whole bit. And we were very excited because at that time, Carnegie Hall was like the top concert hall in the country.
You knew you made it when you were there.
And so, we thought we had, but we knew it after we got off the stage because we got standing ovations for about 10 minutes. And we came back and did a few more numbers, and they just kept standing up and clapping. And I think we all went backstage and we really cried because to us that was the pinnacle of being in the business. And we probably did one of our best shows that night too, by the way. We were really determined, and it was very heartfelt, very passionate, and it actually sounded good. So that to me was a very defining moment in our career, because being accepted in New York at that level is pretty much then was like, okay, you're in.
As we said, defining moment.
Yeah, and there's been quite a few since then. You know, we've just been really, really blessed, and I feel extremely blessed because here I am. After 56 years, I'm still doing it, and I'm still doing it from my heart. I mean, I really have passion for it, and I enjoy it. Best part of my night. In fact, that's where I'm headed right now.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I really appreciate you taking a moment for you. Thank you so much, Duke.
My pleasure, Dave. Talk to you soon.
A big aloha.